Hello, Benjies. Welcome to the BingeWorthy podcast, just one part of the Geekish Network. I am one of your co-hosts. My name is Randy, and I am a speaker and a trainer and a podcaster. And I have two exceptional co-hosts. My first co-host, as I always like to say, she is an actress, she's a writer, she's a director, she's just a flat out superstar. Say hello to the people, Miss Courtney Scott Wright.
Hello.
And my next co-host, he's my guy, right? He's a serial entrepreneur. He's a game designer. He's part owner of the Geekish Network. Say what's up to the people, Chuck.
What's up, everyone? What it do?
And we are the BingeWorthy podcast. How's everybody doing tonight?
Really
Doing
good.
great.
Good. Okay, so we're going to be talking DOTA Season 3. If you have never seen our show, the premise is that every week we will binge watch a television series, and then we come right here to talk about that series. At the beginning of the show, we will rate it based on our unique binge-worthy scale. And then our co-hosts, we engage in conversation. We discuss the plot, we discuss the actors, the quality of the production, the animation, the full gambit of that series. And at the end, we will re-rate it. Now, sometimes our co-hosts can influence us to change our rating. And sometimes they can influence us to change it for the better, lift it up, or sometimes it just drags it all the way down to the flow. And as I said a little earlier, we are going to be reviewing DOTA. So we're going to start off with our initial rating. We're going to start with you this time, Miss Courtney Scott, right? I know you usually back clean up, but let's let you kick it off. How are you going to rate DOTA Season 3?
This is really tough for me because I was really annoyed. Like, I was super excited to watch it, and then the first episode happened, and then it took a turn, which I know we're going to talk about. There was a twist, and I was like, did we need to do this? And I didn't play the video game, so you guys, I don't know if this is like canon for them. Like, this is what happened in the video game. But it felt like it's been overdone so much. I mean, for me, I guess the story was okay. It was kind of I think I'm gonna say a full meal, but I'm between a mini meal and a full meal.
Okay.
Just because of like haterade. I'm going with full meal right now.
So you're going to go to full meal? All right. Okay. For me, I'm going to jump in here right now, and then we'll let you back clean up, Chuck. So, Courtney, you touched on some of the thoughts that I had. We reviewed the first two seasons of DOTA, and I thought that they were really good. And when we did season 1, I distinctly remember us talking about video games not necessarily transferring into other properties well, either live action or animation. And this kind of broke that mold. It was really good. And at season 2, I enjoyed that as well. And I thought I had a distinct roadmap of where this series could go for season 3. I didn't feel I got all of that. And I felt that they tried to do something that I don't think that they were really good at doing. They tried to open it up for the metaverse. And I know that's popular. DC's been doing it for decades. Marvel's now doing it in the MCU. But they've had build-up. They have phases. It felt like to me they tried to develop the metaverse within 8 episodes of a 20-minute show. And it just didn't work for me. I found myself being confused. I found myself not linking to what was done in seasons 1 and season 2. And I was just unsatisfied with it. So I'm going to go in right now. Maybe you guys can convince me to talk it up, but I'm giving it a snack. I was not impressed by what I saw story-wise. So for me, it's a snack. And then I'm gonna go over to you, Chuck. How are you gonna rate season 3 of DOTA?
I'm probably gonna start off with it as a mini meal. The metaverse, I think they didn't have to do that story to continue the story they want. I feel like this was their filler season. They were like, well, we know we want to go 4 or 5 seasons, and so this is the season we create to show what happens when things change. And I was like, I didn't necessarily need that. I didn't necessarily need for the way things change and the rewriting of history.
Mhm.
The characters they brought back and showed me, I love seeing them, of course. I can always speak volumes of seeing Marcy. She's definitely my favorite character in the whole entire series. But I didn't need that. And I felt as though they were like, we didn't know what to do with season 3. Let's flip it all around and pull in the metaverse story. And I feel like it was kind of forced. And I'm tired of seeing the metaverse story. Every show since Community came out and did it, they have done some type of metaverse. And nobody has yet to do it on the level of Rick and Morty. And I think this show didn't nail that at all. It gave me a season that could have occurred without this season. I could have got some of the similar effects in this without it. It is based on the video game. Not all the characters in the video game, but all the races are in the video game. And I'm not sure if the crushed moon is part of the video game itself. The game is a MOBA, so there's not a lot of story around it anyway. And all the story is written by like fan fiction or fictions of the creators. So, yeah.
So you
To
going
me,
with
it is
a
a mini
mini
meal.
meal? Okay. All right. So Courtney gave it a full meal. I gave it a snack. Chuck gave it a mini meal. That rounds us off to like a 9. We divided by 3. So right now we're standing firm exactly at a mini meal for the
Okay.
cumulative score.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about it then. So we've all acknowledged that this is an attempt at the metaverse,
Yes.
the multiverse, or whatever we want to call it. And we've kind of agreed that it didn't quite stick the landing, at least from our perspective. So let's try to figure out how we feel about this. So what part made you not think that the metaverse wasn't right for this story? And I'll start with you, Courtney, and then we'll go to Chuck.
The problem that I had with it slipping into this primal being, this prime being, kind of taking advantage and crafting his own universe. The problem I had with it is that was never really set up in the first 2 seasons, so it came out of left field. Yes, you have the Invoker who, he was always, kind of playing against Salamene, and you made it think that we were made to believe that his problem was mainly with like getting her out of power because of what she did by letting their daughter die. And even in season 2, like the battles that happened with Marana and her, saving her kingdom, the Helio Empire, and coming into her own as like the goddess of the sun, essentially, and we had to lose Marcy in order for her to get to that place. But then we started in this place, and all of a sudden it seemed like some time had passed in episode 1. Like, Marana was being empress, Davion was doing his thing, and life was going on. Like Luna came back, like, I want a job. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, here we are. The Invoker we need to like fight Terrorblade, and by the way, haha, I'm tricking you and I'm stealing all the power and I'm making a brand new universe the way I want it with my daughter.
Not a lot of setup there.
Yeah.
I thought that. So what about you, Chuck? What bothered you? I'm not going to say bothered. What were your thoughts about this attempt to go into the metaverse?
I think to go into the multiverse, we almost ended up in the same place we started.
Yes.
We went around.
We did.
We almost.
It was,
the Invoker
Spider-Man No Way Home.
was left. He was left in his pocket universe. He left himself in the pocket universe. We don't know what happens to him after that. But the fact of how everything worked, like I loved how the world ended in the last season, and knowing they had to come together to fight Terrorblade.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the Terrorblade fight was kind of anticlimactic. It was like we was gonna go do this one big fight. It's like fighting Thanos. The fight's over. We win. Yay. And then the Invoker comes in and says, haha, I played all of you all. Because what I really want is my daughter back. I want Philomena back. And so I'm going to turn all this back in time. And it is what it is. I can spend my time with her. And I understand that the father's love is that strong. Like, he's like, F this. She's the only thing I've wanted. I've been alone ever since she's been gone. And so I'm turning everything back. I don't care if the world falls apart. I get his pain and his joy of being with her, and her having to stop him because everybody realizes he has all eight, basically all 8 Dragon Balls in a sense, and he's the most powerful thing in the universe now.
Right.
And it's like, so I understood that, but I was like, what is the purpose of this? I mean, I'm not getting as much Marcy as I want. When Marcy beat a Davion, I was like, okay, I'm all in on it. She whooped his ass.
She whooped his whole ass.
And she did whoop his ass. And I enjoyed that. And it's just like, it's interesting that only one of them remembered who they really were from the other pocket universe. And
well, technically, Mene did, which, Femrin.
Yeah.
Femrin,
but she was
Mene.
suffering through it though, because she didn't know what was going on.
Right, but Marana had an idea and she had help. She had the exact same thing that happened to her. It's just it happened to her faster. Like Philomena couldn't get to Mene in order to do the spell she needed to awaken her memories, which is exactly just Marana's dude was like, he was like already about it. He was like, yeah, I know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah,
it just shocked me because one minute, I don't know, I was losing interest and I nodded off real quick and they were at Marcy's grave. Then the next thing I knew, Marcy was back. And I was just like, wait, what happened here? And then we kept jumping from universe to universe. And I was like, where are we? And it took me to, I don't know, like episode 3 or 4 to kind of just get into it because I had expectations from where we left off at season 2. And I did want to see more of Davion and how he adapts to now not having the dragon a part of him and figuring out a new purpose because he had spent his entire life devoted to killing dragons.
Yeah.
He was infused with a dragon. And then he sort of developed empathy from him, and then he was detached from a dragon. So
and then he's now
got a new purpose because even when we started off the first 2 episodes, I noticed Davion had changed significantly from that kind of swashbuckling guy that we met in episode 1 of season 1. And it kind of dovetailed all that transition and that arc to build this sort of multiverse world. And so it was very anticlimactic to me.
I was kind of okay with that because I liked how he died. Like, oh, he died. I mean, he was over with. Like, he had his story. He went from Dragon Slayer to the empathizer of dragons to actually understanding what dragons were really there to do. Till he sat there and he was in love. So, like, his whole life changed and he couldn't live it out. And I was okay with that. He didn't get his happy ending that he was hoping for, but he was happy the way he ended it.
Why did he have to die? That
part, I'm like, why did he have to die? Because I'm like, I just don't understand. Okay, he battled Terrorblade.
Yes.
And their whole thing was when he gets to the new universe, you still have the Ember Spark. Okay, if he had the Ember Spark, then why the hell did he die in the first universe? I just don't understand. Like, why I
didn't get it.
I didn't get it. Like, I understand Marcy's dead and Ben dead. She had like a she had like a tomb or what have you.
Yeah. And the grave.
And she had a grave. And yeah, I get it. You're remaking the universe. And I understand what you're saying, but I agree with Randy. I don't know why he had to die. But
I'm okay with him dying.
And I guess it's okay.
He went
I
out
just
there
don't
to fight
get why.
Terrorblade.
It's not okay because Philomena came back.
I just don't.
But see, that's in the but that was in the Philomena came back in the whatchamacallit universe.
No, but she died because they turned everything back in time. So that whole thing supposedly never happened, and we're going back to the world the way that it was. And then in the end credits, Philomena shows up.
Does she show up at the end credits?
Yeah, she's she's at the end credit. And I thought was she pregnant? Because
I was getting the
I think she is pregnant.
I thought she rubbed her belly.
Yeah, she did rub her belly towards the end.
She did.
Yes.
She did. Yeah. She was giving me pregnant vibes.
Because Davion was shooting up the club. He made sure he shot
because they were together. They were like, he came home like, hey babe, you know what I mean? Like that was
he shot the club. Like when she shoot the club.
But here's the thing and I kind of gave it a pass, and this is why I gave it a full meal, in the sense of once I accepted that this is the story that they're giving me, I did appreciate them showing that everybody pretty much had the same sentiment as the Invoker. That Mirana's whole mission was, I want to get my world back. The Invoker's mission is, I want to save my daughter. She's like, I want to get my world back because I want Davion, and I want the man that I fell in love with. I want that back. And then same with Mene, she was like, she wasn't going to get her people back. She was the only one who didn't really have a clear arc. But for Mirana and Davion's like, I want to do what's right, And then Invoker was like, we're exactly the same. Like, we're all doing the same thing. Even Philomena. Philomena said, I would do anything to save your life just because I didn't want to lose you when I thought you were dying. So they all were the same little pieces of the same whole. And I kind of, it kind of proved the Invoker's point. Like, wouldn't you do anything? It just
the Invoker
lost me
did
when
say that. Yeah,
he said, "Wouldn't you do it?" He's like, "Wouldn't you do
anything? This,
and you're proving me right. You're proving me."
I think that's true.
It just lost me when he said, "This is time number 12,400." And
what I guess he's got the ability to see everything that's ever happened and every time. So there's been different versions where she's failed.
Yeah,
in her mission.
This is the only one that it's like Doctor Strange. It's like if Doctor Strange had been the bad guy instead of Wanda,
I thought the same thing. He was Wanda. He was Wanda made up a family. This was
Wanda made up a family. Yeah, he had a daughter. He just couldn't save her.
And I get it, but he was willing to sacrifice everything. And it was like, jeez.
He put a dome around his tower and said the rest of the world's gonna fall. Okay, I get her. And he's been alone for so long. He had nothing. And the only thing he wanted was her. So now he got her. And he's like, rest of these fools, I had nothing to do with them anyway.
So I'm going to ask something real quick. And this is my part. So in seasons 1 and 2, he demonstrated a very firm and strong power, right? He was powerful. But did you all think he became OP in this one? It was like he couldn't miss and he couldn't be destroyed. I'll start with Chuck and then we'll go over to Courtney. So
for this
season, like he was over P for this season.
I don't think so, because he had all the power. Like he had all 8 life forces, and he had everything. And he created that contraption that gave him the power. So he became the god, and he was the god. I think he was at first. The Invoker was a servant to a god who got her pregnant and had a baby with her, and now he is the god. So he can invoke all his powers. Like even when he talked to Philomena, like, okay, you can do this, you can change it all, but you lose all this other stuff. We lose each other. Is it worth it?
Okay. All right. What about you, Courtney? You think he seemed a little OP in this season?
Yes, because for me, it was like, I don't know if he needed Fimrin to become the new goddess in order for him to achieve his quote unquote goal, because he just didn't seem like he had all this power in all the, he seemed like he had power, but you're talking about a forge and like turning back time. And at no point in time did it seem like he was changing things. I guess for me, it was like, if he had changed things at the end of season 1, and then we, got a new season, and then he changed things again at the end of season 2, and then we got a new season. It would have made sense that finally we get in a series where Philomena actually lives. Like, it just kind of felt like you're telling me that this was Groundhog Day the whole time, and that's not the story I was presented with. I felt a little shafted. Like
I did too.
I felt like I was
just playing a little 3-card
told a bill of
Monty on
goods.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just changed it on me right there. So those were the problems that I had. And once I got further into it, episode 3, episode 4, which we were at the halfway point then I started saying, okay, it's starting to click for me. But I just felt like it took too long for that. So let's Chuck, how did you feel about the visual effects and the animation style for this? I thought it was beautiful. It was all these colors
It's always
and
beautiful.
everything. So I was really impressed with that. What about you? What were your thoughts on the visual effects? And
I think the animation style of this was really, really strong. Visual effects in it are also good. This has always been a really, really pretty show. And I think when they show the dragons and whatnot, they look really good. The creatures look good. Even when the people were in zombies, they looked good as well. The animation was really well done. The only problem I had was the meteors. I wasn't sold on the breaking moon meteors all the time. And the really big one that hit the planet, that destroyed the planet, like the one where, what's her name?
The Slayer.
The Slayer.
Yeah, she
when the
flies
Slayer's
into
I
trying to
liked
stop
her.
it.
I liked bringing her back. I liked that we got a different version of her, a version
Yeah.
that was befriended Marana and they worked together.
Yeah. I think the Slayer is also a character in the video game, so it was nice to see her, and even the way she ended, like she tried to stop it.
Yeah,
She's like, I'm doing what I do well, and that's destroy some stuff. Like, this is what I do.
Especially after we had saw her arc from season 2, where she was battling all the things she did, and then she was now liberated, and she was able to live her full power and be her full self. And we didn't get to see a lot of these things, and I needed more. I needed more from that build up that we had, not creating another season. But Courtney, what did you feel about the visual effects for this season?
I thought they were great. I really did. The only I did, like Chuck mentioned, I love the detail in the zombies. I love the detail in, like, we really get to see the lotuses at work, because we never really used the lotuses before. They just said, like Salamene would use them to, like, give her followers powers, but we never really saw them outside of that. So we got to see the transition into the world, which was the world where Mene was. And I really liked the breaking moon. I like when Philomena and Mene were both trying to hold the moon together. I thought that scene was really beautiful. The one thing that I really missed, though, were the dragons. I missed that we didn't get them. I missed that we didn't get a different version of them. And I thought it was really cool when he, had his combined, like, Voltron moment, when he was the elder dragon of, like, all the elder sparks or whatever. I just didn't understand it. Again, it's like, why he made it out the second time? Why couldn't he? I'm still mad about that. I'm still mad about that, because I really like Davion. I really like Davion, and I really don't know how we're gonna have a series with like no Dragon Knight.
I mean, who say he's the last Dragon Knight? Is this? We got another one.
Do we have another season? Because I thought I had read somewhere that this might be the last season for it. But I
can see them ending with this. It felt like
I would think so.
It did, yeah.
Because we got such a deviation from what we had built up. Like, I don't know if I want to come back to this world now.
Well, I feel like if they came back, it would be following, like, Miranda's kid.
Yeah.
Because maybe. I feel like Philomena would be somewhere hiding within the tower. She didn't want anybody to know she's there.
Yeah.
Because she kind of, in a way, like, she kind of pulled a Invoker. Basically, like, it's like, okay, you go ahead and you do, you remember the world, but I'm gonna go ahead and slip in this back door.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't bring Davion with you in that back door?
I mean, that's not the same Davion. She knew that. And she found peace with that. This is not the guy I fell in love with.
No, she did. But he had all his memories, just like she wasn't the woman he fell in love with.
Yeah,
but it all came back to both of them, right?
It all came back to the, like,
and they ended up being the same people that they were.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, you were the same.
Kinda. Because he said he's like, it took me a while to get there, but I'm still this other person. But I know all the memories of the guy that you love too.
and it created confusion there.
Well, he's still not the same guy. He has the memories of that guy, but I'm not that guy.
I don't know.
Oh,
man.
Umbrella Academy. That's what it was. That's what I was like. I was like,
From
this is
Crosstalk
basically
to
Umbrella
Umbrella
Academy.
Academy. Okay, okay.
Because it was like I was thinking about like I was like, oh yeah, and she, she had lost her baby because like if this was the Marana in the first world, and first world Marana knew she had a baby the whole time but didn't tell anybody, then I'm like, oh yeah, Allison lost her. Umbrella Academy.
Yeah,
that's because essentially like that's what happened at the end. She pulled an invoker and created a whole new universe, and here it is.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
This is literally Infinity War meets Umbrella Academy.
But I think that's my biggest issue, because there's a lot of shows pulling this where they're multiversing it up and showing alternate timelines and alternate stories to continue the story. Anime does this sometimes too, and it's just for filler episodes. It's like, so the manga's not being written, or the manga's in process of being written, so they can't do any new episodes for the series, so they create filler episodes, and so they tell a whole different story to the side of what the main story is, and they're known as filler episodes. And I feel like this is the filler season.
But anime does what, like 22 episodes for a season, don't they?
Some of them. It depends on all the anime, but yeah, because they get broadcasted on television.
Okay.
But they have to wait for the manga to get completed first. So the series usually, most anime is based on manga. And so you have some anime studios saying, hey, we're gonna make stories up if the manga is not done. So they don't wait.
They do the Game of Thrones thing.
They don't do it. They make their own. They make their own.
Yeah, they make it up.
They're known as filler episodes. So they get tagged. Okay. They get flagged as filler episodes. It has nothing to do with the main story. It's usually a complete side quest or a multiverse thing, where it's a whole different universe or something. And then when the manga catches up and releases enough issues, they can make anime off of it. They can make a season's worth of anime off of it. They'll make it, and then they'll tag that in.
And I get that, but the video game for this has been around for a while, hasn't it?
For years, for
has
decades.
It?
Yeah, for decades.
Yeah, so I don't even know. Like, do you?
But the game doesn't have a story. Right. It's not a story in this video.
It's an RPG game, right?
It's a MOBA.
What is a MOBA?
MOBA is an arena game style. It's like a sports game.
Okay.
It's a multiplayer online battle arena.
And so they just they coalesce the story around it. That's what was to me what was impressive about seasons 1 and 2. And I keep bringing that up. I'm not going to do it anymore. But they created a really tight, cogent story for us. And then we kind of started going over there. But let's talk about some of the action scenes. Those were some of the things I was impressed with, probably because it played into the animation style. So what do you guys think about the action scenes that we had throughout the season?
I thought the action scenes were okay. The big battle scenes were okay. I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't go in with any expectation.
Well, I thought it started off, because I think it was either episode 1 or episode 2. They had a really good scene, I thought, a battle. And then from there, that's when it started to change. And there were intermittent ones throughout there. Yeah, with Terrorblade. Yeah, that was really good. And I was like, oh shoot, we in for it throughout the season. I got it on a smaller scale, I thought, but not full. Go ahead, Kelly. Sorry about that.
Oh, so no. I'm sorry. I just remembered it, and then I was like, oh, Randy's still talking. I'm so sorry. The scene with Marana and Marcy and Davion in the tree, when they found the stone that turned into the tree and killed all the villagers. I thought that was a really cool battle with the vines, and how, it gave us an opportunity. It was the first time we really saw her, even though she wasn't her goddess self, she still had access to the Helio ability. And so she was able to channel her arrows into the power of the sun. And I thought that was a really cool battle. And the battle between her and Caden, however ridiculous it was, I understand that Caden, it was a different Caden, and he didn't know her and had no reason as to not kill Slyrak. But I was a little defeated about the fact that Slyrak was asleep the whole time. I was like, he didn't really get a good battle in. He didn't wake up until he was already injured. So
True.
that bothered me, but it was a good battle scene. I thought because basically it was Marana versus Caden, and the fact that she took out Caden,
and we never saw that.
Unfortunately, dope. Huh?
Yeah, we never saw Marana fight Caden. At least in seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And for here we got a battle with them. And Marana is dope with the arrow. She does not miss. I'm like,
never. She is the truth.
Yeah.
And any shot that she takes with any type of arrow, she is pinpoint accurate. I'm like, she's doing it.
And I was hoping that they would take Lena to see Slyrak. It just made sense considering they're relatives to each other.
Who?
Lena, the
Slayer.
The Slayer, yeah. She's her and Slyrak has share blood.
That's right, because she's got the fire. That's what she's
the fire. Yeah, she's got the relatives. I was hoping we'd get something out of that with them. And then when Marana said, "Now you can't come," I was like, "What?
Why wouldn't you take her?
That's the one you would take to go see Slyrak."
Well, in theory, she needed somebody to protect her father and to battle, because if she couldn't be there, the only other person who is powerful enough to protect the kingdom would be the Slayer.
Yes.
Okay, I can see
that. I understand why she didn't take her. But yeah. But still, I was like, why didn't she take the little dog? The white,
toy,
Appa.
The bear or whatever.
Well, I call him Appa. I don't know what his name is, but I call him Appa.
Wasn't the father dead though in seasons 2 and 1?
Okay. 1 and 2, both her parents were killed, and that's why she had to escape the Helio Kingdom because her uncle was going to have her killed.
See, we got all of that build up, and now he was just back in DOTA, and I was just like, I don't.
No, he was mentally ill. Yeah, he was mentally ill.
Yeah. Oh, you mean her dad?
Her dad.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant her uncle. Yeah,
her dad. I didn't care about her dad at all.
Oh, I kind of did. I cared about her relationship,
but I did not care about him at all because I felt like we had already been through this. Right? We know that her uncle was a snake and he snuck into the kingdom and took over and everything. But then to see him just being kind of the mother already being dead and him constantly referring to her as his wife, I just
See,
story along to me.
For me, I really enjoyed it just because of everything we knew about. We kind of hadn't done it before. It's just we knew of them in past, as talk of like her memory. But it was an opportunity to see Marana have a parent, knowing everything that she went through, going to Selamene as a place to hide out so that she could, basically save herself. And then to see her there with her dad, to see her kind of in her same regal self, but she just stayed behind. You know what I mean? She stayed behind and was able to maintain the kingdom while her dad deteriorated, which also kind of like, I don't know, maybe it was just that I kind of identified with that scene because it was really personal for me. But I did enjoy seeing her have this person, have someone to connect to, and honestly, he kind of was like a soothsayer in a way.
Yep. I mean, I like the fact her dad was like, go talk to this person over here. He has a prophecy for you. He promised the prophecy. Go get it. And he's sometimes going to tell you, he's going to sometimes tell you the truth, but he's always going to tell you the truth. And so be looking for the truth.
Okay. Right. He's always going to tell you the truth, but he's always going to give you something else that you didn't ask for. It's always going to be, there's always a double edge to the sword.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so
but what'd you think of Philomena? I liked Philomena though.
I did like grown Philomena. Grown Philomena was sharp.
She was about that life.
Kid Philomena from season, was it 1 or 2? When she told her mother, she was like, I'm not gonna praise you to save me. You're my mother. That's your job, right? I was like, So I liked it. So from there, that was the part that I didn't expect to have this storyline thrown into there, but seeing her as a kid, like in season 1 or 2, I can't recall, but then seeing her as an adult or, teenage, she is exactly what I thought she would have been based on the depiction we got of her earlier.
And I really liked her as a character. I thought she was a great addition to the story. It was a great opportunity to get to know her. But having her did decrease the storyline of Fimrin, but at the same time I didn't really miss Fimrin because I feel like her story arc was complete when she at the beginning of that, when she became the goddess, which ultimately that's who she was always meant to be, was the new iteration of Mene. You know, like I felt like her saga was done, and she was really just there to be this entity, you know. So I didn't miss her per se, but I did really enjoy Philomena, which is why I did give it kind of a higher, I gave her I graded on a curve.
I really wanted Fimrin and Philomena to actually bond because they both shared the Invoker. They both were there and they both had dealt with the Invoker as a father and as like as a leader, actually, somebody that was guiding them. Like he kept telling Fimrin, you have no idea what you're meant to be here for.
It felt like they were pushing towards that, then they abruptly stopped to me. It's showing that there was a connection between Fimrin and Philomena. I thought that they were, because there was
maybe if they give another season, we may see that.
Yeah, I think that in a way, Philomena was the Fimrin character of season 2, essentially. I mean, they're just role reversal. It's like Fimrin became Selemene and Philomena became Fimrin. And it's like they kind of serve the same purpose. It's just that Fimrin was dope as hell. Like in terms of like her mind. She was just so clever. And so like when she went back in Mene's mind and Fimrin's mind, and she discovered everything, like watching her unravel all the memories, all the things that she was seeing, you know, when she saw her bunny and she's like, Bunny, you're not alive. You know what I mean? Like not understanding the world she was in. I just thought that was such a great episode.
Yeah.
And I thought she figured it out. That's helped her, like how she was able to quickly figure it out. It was like, oh, it's something going on here. My bunny's not alive. These books are alive. He's my father. He's always here. He's not here. It's like, whoa, wait. And the way she was able to piece the multiverse together, it was just really well done.
So it's going to be interesting. They do have a new season because Fimrin is the new Mene. And then they have their father in common, and so it's gonna be interesting, like where if Philomena's like, y'all want to go back to the town where I'm from, and Fimrin's like, I can't do that, I can't send you back there, we can't get you back there. I don't know if she's gonna become her father, like I want to go back to this other time where my bunny is alive, and
no, she just make bunny alive. What do you mean?
The books mean something, but it's not the same when making a bunny alive as an adult versus when you made it alive when you're a child. You know, so it's gonna be interesting what happens. The memories, all the like. I heard how these old memories, but in this world, none of those memories exist.
Yeah, it says that they have not renewed DOTA. They haven't renewed or canceled it, so they don't know about a season 4.
I feel like this is the last one. I don't know.
I think they'll get one more. I think Netflix will get one more out of it.
Netflix is hardcore out here in these streets lately. They're not quite Warner.
Well, they're not as exactly. I was about to say they're not quite as bad as.
But that's
HBO,
what we compared it to, right? We compared it to the worst, the absolute worst, most toxic, worst
like,
company in the world, right?
I don't know who is running Discovery and thought they were just gonna come in and just like
David, whatever his name is, David Zint.
No, I know, but I don't know what he was thinking. And then they on this like redemption tour trying to like save Ezra Miller, but they not cleaning up too much.
Ezra's still out here in these streets.
Yeah, I had a complex mental situation.
I think Ezra's out in these streets because of the contract he has, probably.
And I would say, but we're not.
No, you know,
that
this
train wreck.
Sorry,
that train wreck is selling. We're gonna stay right here. Go ahead, Chuck.
I like Bram in this one. He didn't have a big role, but he was willing to go fight Terrorblade. And Kaden had like, nah,
yeah,
you're the last. Yeah, you're the most knowledgeable, and you're basically the father.
Was Bram there when they all came back? Because he shouldn't have been there. It should have been Kaden and Luna dead Dead
They
Davion
didn't show
and
Bram. I
Marana.
think they show
Okay.
Bram at the
I don't
end.
think
there.
they
Okay.
showed Bram, but Bram had a significant arc in season 2 because he fell in
Mhm.
love with the dragon, and he literally became a dragon knight. So he had stepped his game up. And those,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about it anymore. No, I keep talking about the things that I wanted to see, and I've
Yeah.
gotta focus on the story that we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot that Davion died in like episode either 1 or 2. Like I just forgot episode 2. He died in episode 2, and I just forgot because I wasn't convinced that he was actually dead because like
Mhm.
when the invoker like went and did his little thing, I was like, oh, that's just he just sleep. He just like, why don't you give him
He
like
dies a
why don't you, like-
Hollywood death.
I did. I really did. I was like, let's just go ahead and like
Nah, they killed Davion.
what is it when you burn injury? Why can't I think of that word right now? When you cauterize. I was like, Marana, just go ahead and cauterize that injury real fast. It'd be all right.
Mhm.
So
You're right. He's a cartoon.
The Invoker's end, was it anticlimactic for you guys? I mean, he just kind of
No.
left.
He
off
didn't
there.
end for me.
That's what I'm saying. At the
He's
end, he
there.
didn't die. He's
No,
just there.
he's in the pocket universe.
Well,
And he
he's
made
in
sure-
he's in the place of the Forge, Forfell,
Yeah.
or wherever that was. And we
Mhm.
don't know if he's still there. He could have went back to his tower.
Probably not. We don't know. We
So
know he
for
was
all-
hurt.
But we don't actually know if he remembers because
Yeah.
we don't know because it was his old self, like his. I mean, I'm
But
assuming
Miranda
he does.
took all his powers and to turn back time. She took his power.
So did
He
she take
didn't
his
take his
powers?
power. He gave it to her.
Yeah, he
He-
gave
that's
well, he
what-
gave
he
he
gave it to
gave them to her, but he doesn't have them anymore.
See, it confuses me. That's
Yeah.
I
why.
don't
So,
necessarily believe that.
because I just thought he was just kind of stuck out in the ether, and that was his punishment. And I wanted to see him die. I don't know. I just felt like he.
I didn't want to see him die.
I did.
I didn't want to. I was a little bit irritated at him, but once he made his point of like, you would do it too. Like when he stuck her
Yeah.
out in outer space and like froze her, I was like, okay. This is I really like oddly enjoyed that scene because he was
Yeah.
dope as fuck. I couldn't fault him. It's like Thanos.
Mhm.
You want to hate Thanos, but at the same time, you're like,
I
he's doing
got
such
him.
a good job.
I totally
He's doing
understand
such a
that.
good job. It's just like Killmonger.
I really thought of
Killmonger, but
every
he's
father
not
I know
wrong.
with a daughter, and their daughter be the only thing they love, and watch her die, that they would do the same exact thing.
He's killing out multiverses, guys. I mean, I
I mean,
But
I'm
he
a
didn't mean to kill out
father.
the multiverse.
He didn't mean to.
He didn't mean for it
mean
to. He didn't mean to do
mind
that.
it.
Well, I mean,
He didn't mind
no,
it.
he
Did.
would've done
He just-
anything to
but he
keep
wanted
her.
to have his. He wanted to do anything to keep her alive with him. Gotta think,
He
he's gone.
accelerated it. He accelerated it because she wouldn't let it go. He was like, all right, well, then I'm gonna burn this world down. He was just gonna do it again. He was just gonna create a whole new world.
Just do
He's
it
like,
again.
okay, I got you in this world, and I figured out how to keep you this one time. So now we'll just rebuild a new world now that I got you, and it'll be fine the next time around. That was his
Yeah.
whole thing. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll do it all over. I'll
We'll
protect
do it
you.
all over.
Well, it'll start it all over again. And the
Yeah.
dragon was that, like Slyrack was like, well, she's like, when Midnight said, "What do I do to stop it?" The Slyrack was like, "Nothing. You let this happen.
Okay.
The
All right.
world you lived in is not here anymore. This is the world you have.
Okay.
Live it till the end and let it go."
Are there
And-
any other topics? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chuck.
And Mine was like, "Nah, no, I'm not
Marana.
okay with that."
That was Marana. Yeah,
Marana was
yeah.
like, "Yeah, Marana's like, nah, I'm not okay with that. Nah, I'm not okay with that. I'm gonna change this back." But Slyrack told her, "You do nothing," and she was almost okay with that.
Almost. She did go back home, and it
Mhm.
wasn't until Davion showed up was like, nah, that's not okay. She told
Nah.
him, she's like, okay, this will be okay. I'm just gonna make do with the world that I have here.
Yeah,
And he was like, no, the world's about to die.
yeah.
The moon
let's
is
fix it.
crashing.
Mm,
So
let's
we gotta
fix it.
you gotta rise up. Let's go.
All right. What other topics y'all want to discuss? Anything else?
No.
I think
I'm
that's
good.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's it. I mean, it was 8 episodes, and they were nice 8 episodes.
That's what I'm saying. I thought they were pretty. Once I go in my anger because I took a break after episode 2, and then it came back, and it was like, okay, now
I
we're in a
did
brand
too.
new world. I was bitter Betty.
You were bitter about that? I was excited.
was
like, oh my,
bitter.
I was like, oh my
upset
God,
about
where's
it.
this going?
I was like,
was
where are we
so
going and why are we
upset.
here?
I was like, this is
Yeah.
not what I signed up for. I was like, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
I signed up to see Marana and Davion finally get together and battle some damn dragons. And take a minute. I think I took like a day.
Yeah.
I took a whole day.
I took a while before I watched it too.
And I was like, I came back, I think the following day. I was like, all right, let me go ahead and finish this.
And it wasn't, like I said, until like episode 4, I was like, all right, this is the story I have.
No.
And I'm going to ride this on out.
When I realized they turned the time back, I said, hey, I get to see Marcy again. I got excited.
Well, I did say that when Marcy showed up, I was like, okay,
Marcy again.
Man, I took a quick nap and I woke up and she was back, and I was like, what the hell just happened here?
Well, yeah, it took me. When I got Marcy and I got the
you
Slayer,
got to start that episode over.
I guess I do.
I got Marcy, I got the Slayer being like, you know, a good guy, because I really always really liked the Slayer character, Lena, and
the beaver dude.
And then we saw Davion, and he was
the beaver dude. I wanted more of the beaver dude too.
I wanted more of the beaver dude. The guy who was
he
was in season 2. He was at the beginning of season 3 in like episode 1. He was like
Lena's friend.
I wanted to see.
Viceroy. Is that Viceroy?
Puss in Boots. I don't know. He was Puss in Boots.
Yeah, you called him Puss in Boots. That's not who he was.
He was not a beaver. He was a cat.
I just remember he was just really cool, and
he was dope. He was Puss in Boots.
I wanted to see more of him.
I'm just shaking my head at you. Puss in Boots.
Hey, I call him
Puss in Boots wasn't even there.
He wasn't there. Well, I guess if you're doing timelines and universes and all of that stuff, so potentially they never met him.
His name is Hiro Nanami.
Okay. Yeah, he was cool. It was cool. All right. Well, we've talked about it. So started with Courtney first. We're gonna start with you at the end, Chuck. How are you gonna re-rate DOTA season 3?
I guess I give it a full meal. I guess I go from any meal to a full meal. Cause I did binge it all. I watched it all in one day. I enjoyed it. I can't say I didn't enjoy it. You know, I felt it was filler because I wanted an extension of the story that we already had going. And I felt like we were going to start the next season at the end of that story and move forward. Because I want to know how Marana and Fimran and all them move without Davion, him being dead. Them two women in particular, because one had a relationship with him and another one loaned for him at one point. So I wonder what that's going to be like. Yeah. Now we have Philomena back, so I wonder what that means. A grown-up Philomena, and what's going to be her motives. I'm really excited. So I want them to do that story. Does she take on the personality of her father? Like, look, I want to go back to my world.
And I feel like Philomena's going to find a way to bring Davion back.
She may.
Perhaps.
She may.
Yeah.
She may. You just want to bring Davion back.
I just want to bring Davion back. That's the reason I'm okay with
Davion.
I'm all right with him dying. No, I didn't get it, but he's gone. He's gone.
No, I get it.
Everybody
died. I was
if
like,
Philomena didn't die, then no, he gets to come back too.
Yeah. And I just remember
that's not how it always works, Courtney.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I was like, when we go back in time, when I was like, okay, we go back in time, and maybe I'll get Marcy back. Because it didn't even dawn on me, literally, that Davion actually died. And so then we got Marcy back. I was like, okay, so they're going to go back in time and they're going to figure out they're going to Iron Man this shit. They're going to figure out how to keep their world, the good things from that world, and bring it back to the other world, like the snap.
Marcy's dead and everybody's
Marcy's
dead.
actually dead. And I'm still bitter.
But it was so funny because when Miranda, when she was going back to the turn back time, the invoker was like, "Look, you're gonna lose all of this, that you finally had. You're gonna lose it all."
No, they just spotlight. They just put a spotlight on Marcy and Davion. It was a quick shot of just.
It was a shot of her. It was the other girl too. It was a Luna. It was there.
She's not gonna lose Luna. Luna's not dead. Luna's alive.
But is Luna still alive?
Luna is still alive. The only two who were dead were Marcy and Davion.
Marcy and Davion. But Luna, but she was standing next to her and they showed a shot at him. And I was like,
she was like, I feel like we just did this yesterday. Did something happen? Like that was funny. Man. Yeah. But Caden, we got Caden back. That's what you lost.
Caden, we do have Caden
died
back.
in the new world, but came back because he was still there.
Because Marana killed him.
Right. And I'm like, we could have sacrificed his life and kept Davion.
Caden's dope.
I'm okay. Yeah. I'm okay. I'm okay with Braun being the father, Caden being alive, and Davion being dead.
Yeah. I am too.
I mean, maybe an interesting show. I'll be okay.
All
I'll
right,
be a bitter
so
Betty for an episode, and then I'll be fine.
you guys did help me talk it up a little bit, not that much, but I'm gonna go from a snack to a full meal. So I'm gonna I'm gonna
wow.
bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up just to a full meal because there was some good points in there. And
Yeah.
after we
I'm gonna-
talked through it, and I got over my anger and disappointment, and I jumped in, I'm like, well,
The
it wasn't-
plans that we had
Yeah,
inadvertently and
it-
didn't know we had.
right? Yes, it wasn't horrible because at first I was
Mm-mm.
angry. I was like, should I give this a cringe worthy? Because that's
But it
Wow,
wasn't
you were
cringe
that
I was
angry.
being
It was
real
just-
petty. I was being real,
That,
real petty.
wow.
But I kept it in a snack. I was like, oh no. Because I was going to go first and just set the tone off. I was going to go all Monique Scorched Earth. But I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to listen here. So I said a
Wow.
snack. And y'all help me. So I'm bringing it up to a mini meal. It's kind of,
Oh, you said
right.
full meal. So you
no,
meant mini meal.
mini meal. Yeah, mini
Okay,
meal. I'm not
okay,
bringing it
okay,
up to a
okay.
full.
Yeah, you did
teased
initially
us.
say full meal.
You
Oh,
did,
did I
and that's
say-
why
I
that's
thought
why Chuck
I
said,
thought you-
"Oh, that was a big jump."
That's
Yeah,
a
I
big
ain't
jump.
Going, I ain't going that far. I'm going from a snack to a mini meal.
To a mini meal.
Yeah, to a mini.
You shouldn't have fell asleep on it. Maybe you'd have
I
stayed
should-
up.
Hey, they
and
should
you
have
would've
kept me
saw
more
it.
interested. And it wasn't late. I wasn't watching it late at night. So they should have kept me more interested, I felt. But nevertheless, Courtney, bring us on home. How are you going to re-rate DOTA season 3?
Okay, so I'm solidly at a full meal. I feel better about the conversation. I was reminded of the things that I liked about it, and and mainly my gripes were that I just didn't feel prepared for the journey that they ultimately ended me taking me on based on where the season 2 ended. But once I accepted, I respect the story, and I feel comfortable with a full meal.
Okay. All right. So that gives us a cumulative score of 3.66. If we round that out, I should have kept my rating the same. We're going to round it all the way up to a full meal for the cumulative score. So at 3.66, it's going to be a full meal.
Okay.
Yay.
I was like that person on the Supreme Court. I could control it going back and forth, and I should have kept it, but I'm fine
I'm
with my
glad you
decision.
moved up to a full meal.
I said mini meal.
Yeah.
Mini meal.
Mini meal. I'm not moving up to no full. But the total score with it averages out is 3.66. We'll round that up. That's a full meal.
Okay.
Okay. Miss Courtney, you got anything to say before we head out?
No, I don't know what we're doing next week. Do we?
That's a good question. I don't think we know what we're doing.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay. Did Harley Quinn end yet?
No, it doesn't end until like September.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
I haven't even
yeah,
started yet.
We got a couple more weeks in. It dropped 3 at first, and then they go like serial, and I think it's 10 episodes in total. So it'll end around.
Yeah.
Are
I
you
watched the
excited?
first episode.
Oh, you did?
I
Okay.
did. I did watch that first episode. And I was like, I gotta stop. Oh my God.
Well,
This
the new
is
one drops
amazing.
tonight. The new one drops today, so it might be out after we're done recording here. And I'm current.
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask, are you excited for She-Hulk?
I'm really excited about it. I'm so excited about it. It may be the best Marvel show they make.
Okay.
I have seen the first 4 episodes.
Nice.
And I'm curious to see what you think of the first episode.
Okay. Good stuff. All
I'm
right.
excited.
Chuck, you got anything before we head out?
Nope. Excited for She-Hulk. That's about it. I can't watch till it's all finished, so it's gonna be a while.
Oh, and I think, does Lord of the Rings start
Well,
also?
Game
House of Dragon?
It starts Sunday.
Game of Thrones starts Sunday. I thought Lord of the Rings is September 2nd. Okay. So Game of Thrones starts the 19th.
Yeah. So I mean, we got some bangers coming here in the next couple weeks. We still got She-Hulk, we'll have Andor, we'll have Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. So
all right, I forgot about Andor. Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be some bangers coming up here. All right. With that being said, shouts out to Digital Click. Contact them for your marketing and promotional needs. They handle all of the beautiful surroundings for us that help us look fly so we can deliver on being our best. Shouts out to Rodney, our producer out there. Also, the Geekish Network, we are a network about inclusion from various races, backgrounds, experiences, Latinx, Asian, Pacific Islanders, African American, LBGTQ, the full spectrum. And we have a bevy of talent. We've got producers, we've got tech people, we've got actors and writers and entrepreneurs, and we are here devoted to creating outstanding content for people who look like you. So please support us. Share our videos, share our channel with your friends, your lovers, anybody out there that you think would be interested in this space. And we'll be back here next week. As Courtney likes to say, same geek time, same geek channel. Talk to you guys later. Peace.
Bye.